Hello, welcome to Average Gamer Plays Factorio. Now, we've got some supply issues here to sort out. Lots and lots and lots of supply issues. Right, we've just finished all the research, which is a good thing because it means that a lot of these factories are now going to slow down, certainly once this research queue has sort of built up and the science packs are kind of backed up into the factory, so we can sort of wait for that to happen, and then that will back up. We will keep on using the bots to upgrade these belts to make sure they are all the same. Let's just do our standard yellow to red upgrader so we don't end up upgrading red to blue. So we can just hover over pretty much basically the whole base and just upgrade everything that's not already been upgraded. I'm not doing any railway stuff on the mall at the moment. I think it was kind of on the to-do list, but it never got done because I wasn't using railways. So we might need to build another mini mall for railway equipment. I know that rails take stone. Stone, steel, iron stick, electronic circuits, iron plates, engine units, which again are just steel, iron and pipe, so plenty of stuff there that we're already getting in. So we'll have a slightly different, this is going to need a lot of steel. Now I'm already bringing in steel, not steel, we've already got iron and steel on these two belts here, so I will use those because they're making roboports and we don't need to make an awful lot of roboports. So I will sequester these for the rest of my railway equipment build. Iron stick in the middle, because that then feeds into rails and it feeds into train stops. We need lots and lots of rails, so I'll actually make and again we probably don't need that many stations in one go. Right, so that's rails, stations. We need signals, which is iron plates and electronic circuits. Easy enough to do. Right, locomotives and cargo wagons are the biggies, so we're going to need 20 engine units for a locomotive. And engine units are steel, iron gear wheel and pipe, and we've already got engines being made down here, have we, somewhere? That was that little thing I put over here, wasn't it? Yes, I was already just putting. Okay, so let's just take this up because we're not going to need those anymore. Iron gear wheel, pipe. Engines needs that plus steel plates, which we can get from here. Now, locomotives need 20 engines, and it might take a while to make those, but it will get there eventually. So I'm just wondering whether I need one machine making. Let's have 2 machines making engines, see if that goes any faster. Let's have those outputting onto a belt in the middle. So then we have engines coming out there. So locomotives need steel plate, electronic circuits and engine units. So we need to get these electronic circuits. We'll have them going up and along, and we'll have that going along and under. That way. How many of those does it need? 10? Yeah, basically needs lots, but we will have we'll have those sharing. Don't think locomotives stack that highly, so we'll have 2 of those. Those are all still working. Cargo wagons, iron plate, steel plate, iron gear wheel. So let's have another iron gear wheel machine feeding straight into there. Wagons plate, steel plate, iron gear wheel. So it needs plate from there, steel plate from there, iron gear wheel from there. Outputting into there. So we're still waiting for engine units to come in. We've got some on us. We've actually got quite a lot on us at the moment. So that's making railways, that's made some train stops, that's made rail signals and chain signals. Right, so let's request some stuff on the logistics. We'll have 300 rails for now. We'll have 10 stations, 50 signals, 50 chain signals. Cargo wagon, I'll have 12. Now, if I have enough on me to make 3 trains, my trains are going to be, at the moment, 1 station and 1 station and 4 wagons. So I need 12 wagons. If I have 5 locos, because that's a stack, I'll need 20. 20 wagons, 5 locos. And I probably need to put... That is all within range of orange. I'll need to put some of this stuff away because I've got too much stuff on me. Right, so I've now got, look at this, I've got my 300 rails, train stops, rail signals. So let's start designing some train stations to come in. So you need an awful lot of space for train stations. Doesn't help that I was standing too close to that. Let's grab... I had some fish, didn't I? Which I think I put in... Have I still got the fish on me? Yes, I do. I think if you hold... No. I think just having the fish on my inventory has just repaired the damage to that, to myself anyway. Now what takes up a lot of space on the railway lines is if you hold down shift, it's space to sort of turn the line round in a loop. And I had some blueprints for this, but I'll try and sort of do it all again from scratch. And it's a case of working out whether you want your train lines to be 2 rails apart or 3 rails apart. And the main reason for that is a case of working out, I think it's actually 2 rails apart is the way that I used to do it. It's a case of working out sort of how your junctions are going to be designed and how you're going to signal your junctions. So if we have this line here, and if I hold down, if I press Q to pick up a station, and then hold down shift. Now then, how do you scroll through all the different... Is it right click? I can't remember. So it'll only put the lines in where it can find space to do them. So let's have that further up there. Ah, come on. And that is something like... Keep pressing tab instead of Q. My hand is sort of 1 step further over on the... Well, why is that not placing it? eventually. So that is a rail loop that the train can come along and turn around and go back up the other side. Now, I want to have right. I want to have some stations. I need a station for iron, a station for copper, a station for coal, and a station for stone. I need 4 train stations. Now I can have I can have a single railway line going to and from all the oil patches over here. And in fact, they're reasonably close. I probably don't even need. I can probably just run a belt from there. But once we've got the train station set up, I can then sort of quite easily run to other patches that are further away. So we'll set up a bit of a railway line. So we'll have a line coming in quite randomly sort of over there. No, I won't. I'll have the line coming in nearer the bottom. And then I'll branch off it for the stations. But I want to work out, I need to have a train stacker as well. So I need places for, if I've got 2 trains bringing in iron ore, for example, I need to have space for one train to park at the unloading station and space for the next train to park behind it where it's waiting to come in. So I need to build this waiting area into the train layout design, the track layout design. So I'm going to have one set of tracks going forwards and backwards, and they're going to branch off into 4 stations, each with stackers for, let's say, 3 trains. And this is where it starts taking up a lot of space. So what I'm going to do is build some sample bits of track that we're going to need, and then I'll bookmark them. I'll blueprint them rather. So we have train station coming in, and the station's always got to be on the right hand side. Do it in the middle there. So we're going to have train is going to be a locomotive and 4 wagons. We're then going to am I making stack inserters? We're going to need a lot of stack inserters for this. So the idea is the train comes along and it unloads into a set of steel chests. And then from the chests it outputs onto some belts, and this is like a usual way of doing the output. Okay, so we'll have that line there, and then we copy and paste this onto the rest of the station. But this is just to get an idea of spacing and gaps and how much space all this takes up. So the station comes as on there. The main track is usually, I think it's 2 lines lower. So that can just, yeah, it's one lower than that. I haven't got the bots to build the stuff for me at the moment. So this is kind of the minimum amount of space that we need for the station. But we're going to need somewhere for the train to park before it comes into the station. So we have basically these lines don't have to be that far apart because we don't need to build an actual station in here. It just needs to be somewhere. Come on. Somewhere for the train to sit. See, we're already at the corner of the hatch. Oh dear. And then these need to be long enough for, so when we put a chain signal, let's line all these up. So the chain signal is going to be there. And then we basically need space for the wagon to sit there with four the loco to sit there with four wagons behind it. Then this is the track coming on. Now we need to make sure that this is also going to be long enough to hold the train. So we'll probably have that going on there. That going on there, something like that. So that's going to be long enough. I might be able to make these a little bit shorter, but I just need to make sure that this top track, which is the shortest one because it's the highest up, has still got space for this train to park on it. Now, the train can actually, the last carriage can actually still be on the bend as long as it doesn't interfere with the rest of the tracks. That's fine. But this is going to be the kind of basic layout. So the railway line comes in. So this is going to be the main line coming in. And then we can duplicate all of the... Oh, didn't want to do that at all. So we'd have a signal at the front, a chain signal at the end. I think this is... No, we'll have... So these change signals, that is a signal, that needs to be change signal to say that that stops. These need to be change signals, reading this one. And then these need to be proper signals. So this now says train can come along, and in fact we don't need, we can use this as the first stacker, can't we? So this has actually got space for 4 stackers, for 4 trains. So this is the main railway line. We're going to need just trying to think how I'm going to fit in, or if I've got enough space there. If I want to just sort of copy all of this and put it over there, is that going to sort of fit into? Look at my little bots coming in and building it already, that's fine. That's not a problem. So we basically want some tracks that come along there and into this one, and then we'll have this coming up, and then we can duplicate that there. See, now we're running into space on the mall. Duplicate that there. So this is going to be so coal, these need to be sort of lined up properly. Because I want it to look reasonably neat. So I had my loop down here, didn't I? So I've built all these a little bit high up, because if we have a look at the map, there's actually space to, I might sort of pick all this up and just put it a little bit lower down. And then all these trains are going to merge onto a single line and then have the loop, and then it's going to go back out again. But the idea was But we then had this loop. We could sort of go there. And then all these other tracks would merge down onto here and go back onto the loop and go back out again. But there isn't enough room to build it all there. So what I'll do off camera is I'll take all this down and I'll rebuild it where I want it to go. And I might tidy it up a little bit, but this is the basic idea. So we've got one set of train tracks going forwards and backwards, which is going to be this line at the bottom and then this line going underneath it. And then the train's going to come in from the remote mining area, wherever it is, and then these are close enough I can probably just run them with a set of belts. But we'll use the trains for the more remote areas. And I mentioned this in one of the earlier episodes, that you can set up a train thinking it's going to be, yeah, when I was doing the oil, I said you can set up a train thinking it's going to be ages, and it only takes 5 seconds for the train to get from A to B. And it turns out that, you know, just the space building the stations is half the distance to the ore patch anyway. But we can certainly use these stations if we're going to pick out a copper from here. I mean, I might... That's 32 million. That's still worth doing. So I might ignore that one and go straight to this one, just purely so I can build a train line to it. 20 million, I might go and get that one. Yes. So yeah, I'll tidy up the train stations. And I'll get those built. But this is the idea behind how I'm going to set it all up. So I'm going to have space for, and I might use that as the first stacker and have 2 more. And have these being, no, that's the minimum amount of space I need for that first stacker. But I might get rid of this top line. If I'm going to use that as the first stacker, I might get rid of that top line. Come on. And then all these other ones can just be a little bit lower down. So that line can be, in fact, that could be there. So if I take that up, I could put it down there, you see. But then I've got to make sure that I've actually got enough space. Yeah, that still leaves enough space, I think, to run a few belts to unload from the station. So if I've got these, and they're going to go, we'll have that one going 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So that's what the unload station looks like, and then that's still got room for the next unload station further up, and I've got room to put a few power poles. You put the power pole in between the carriages, and that will then have enough power to do the whole thing. So let's just I don't want to destroy the whole... Well, I might as well take the trees up. Take all that up. So that would then lead into... That would go into there like that. That would then... I could go there. Sometimes it's awkward with these trains, these ghost. Placing the ghost, it never quite seems to want to go where you want it to go. But something like that would work. And then I've got... It still looks a little bit untidy because I've got a bigger gap between there and there than I have between the other lines, but it doesn't really matter. So that can then come yeah, I need as much space to feed it back in as I had over here to feed it out. If we wanted to make that look a bit neater as well, I'd probably just do something like that. So the train comes along the main line and it feeds up into whichever stacker it needs to go into whichever station it needs to go into. And then it will, in a similar way to this, it will feed onto the main line back out again. And that's how my base train stations are going to be set up. As I say, I'll move the whole lot sort of lower down so that they're more in line with where I originally labelled them to be. And maybe where I've got space to put this loop at the bottom. And then, yeah, we'll carry on from there. So I'll leave it there for now, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.